My name is Jim Gruber, and the class is an Introduction to Timber Framing, which is the ancient craft of mortise and tenon joinery for structures that have been going on for about 1,000 years now. It'll be a 2-day course, and we need a commitment for both days. And we have 3 instructors for the course: Chris Madigan and Tom Page, and myself. And among the 3 of us, mostly the 2 of them, we have about 80 years of experience on timber framing. The class will introduce the kind of ancient craft of timber framing back starting around the 1200s. And it'll introduce how to design and how to lay out, including structural considerations, a timber frame. It could be a small shed, or you could be designing a large building. We'll look at how to lay out and cut joinery, both the mortise, the tenon, and how they're pegged off. This picture, it shows a brace with the tenon on the end. So the tenon sticks out, and the mortise is the hole where it goes into. And then how to assemble it all and make it into a structural framework that will actually survive, hopefully, 500 years. That's typical timber frames that are well built. So that's the class. It's an introduction. You won't be a timber frame expert, but you will know kind of basically how it works. And you theoretically could build a house if you purchased the book that we wrote back in 1979 on how to do it. And we're highly recommending that people acquire the book. It's about $20 now. It's called Building the Timber Frame House. Ted Benson and I were the co-authors of this book. And what we wanted to do at the time is to show people detail how to do it themselves, how to build a timber frame house for themselves. And over the years, I've had many people design and build timber frame houses from a couple of courses I've taught. And it's great to see that done. Alstead, back in the mid-70s, I believe, was the epicenter of timber framing in the United States, the renewal timber framing. Timber framing is not what you would think of just a pole construction where you have large poles and you bolt together other beams to it. It's actually a joinery technique that's used throughout the world. Like in Japan, the joinery technique is very unique. In Japan, all the temples are timber frame. In New England, the barns were known for timber frame, but so were the houses. So the technique itself is actually it's really much more of an art than construction practice, but it also has to meet the needs for kind of structural stability. These are the kind of primary tools, not including the augers, for timber framing. It's not a lot of tools you need. You need a framing square, chisel. The large one is called a slick. The next one is a corner chisel. The one above that is a regular chisel, a framing chisel. There are many ways of making mortises, but usually you auger out a hole, and your tenons, you use a circular saw. But those are basically all the tools you need. You don't need many other tools. Now, I'm basically a timber frame duffer. I've designed timber frames in the U.S., even a place out in Taos, New Mexico, a ski lodge. But I'm a kind of engineer designer. The other 2 instructors, Tom Page and Chris Madigan, are real timber framers. They've done it probably about 40 or more years each. They built houses all over the United States. So they are really, really seasoned. So we have 2 seasoned people and 1 duffer to actually teach a course to 8 people. We only have room for 8 who are interested.